Hello beautiful soul and welcome back to my channel. My name is Milani and here we discuss all things energy, magic, manifestation, metaphysics to help you elevate your life to that next level. And what I wanted to talk about today is something that is really alive, I think, for a lot of people in the moment. And it is something that I am also grappling with, and that is, how do you shift your vibrational alignment when there's stuff in your life that just really sort of sucks in the moment? So here in South Africa, for instance, we've just moved back into a level 4 lockdown. Now, for somebody like me who has this dream of traveling, feeling that exterior freedom being curtailed is directly the opposite of what my ideal situation and circumstances would be. And so it is something that we all are having to master, I believe, during this time. This feeling of being able to embody an inner freedom when some of our outer freedoms get curtailed. And it is also something that we get to practice whenever we really are moving into that sort of next phase of moving closer to our dreams, because there's always going to be that contrast, maybe that thing that hasn't yet happened, that we feel the absence of because we long and desire for it so much that we really feel the lack of it, the scarcity of it. And it's so important to be able to shift yourself out of that vibration and into a vibration that's more in alignment with attracting what you actually want. So I have a 5-step process that I follow and that I wanted to share with you that really works in terms of shifting yourself out of that funk, out of that not so good feeling where you're always going down this spiral of worry and anxiety and just feeling down and depressed and unsatisfied with the state of the world or the state of your life. And the first thing that you have to do is to just stop. You know, like Vanilla Ice in that song says, stop, collaborate, and listen. The first thing is to just stop. You have to just check in with yourself and feel what it is that you're feeling. A lot of people use work and busyness and distractions, watching Netflix or playing games or whatever, to just keep themselves busy, to not feel this heavy, dissatisfied, angry, frustrated feeling inside of them. So they do a lot of stuff to avoid looking at that and feeling that and confronting that. But you cannot shift anything unless you actually know it's there in the first place and you can name it, you can grapple it. In some of the epic old stories, it was always the thing of you have to know its name before you can fight it, the dragon's name or the monster's name. There's power in knowing the thing's name, in knowing it so intimately that you know its name. That's sort of the message that I get from that. So you have to stop, go and journal and just pour out, how am I feeling? What is frustrating me at the moment? Where is the lack that I'm feeling? And just feel into that. Even though it is sucky to feel that, that's where you start. You have to just get quiet and stop and come to terms with what is happening for you in that moment, in your day, in your life, in that chapter of your life. So that's the first one. And then the process, so that's the S. I call it scram. So that's the S, the stop. The second one is the C, and that is that you have to change the story, because a lot of the bad feeling that we get is when we tell ourselves that somehow this sucky thing that is happening to us is a result of us not being on our correct path. Something's going wrong, something's going haywire, our journey is not unfolding the way it should be. We're going to miss our destination. We're way off path. So this thing that we're experiencing now, we sort of equate that to a bigger problem. It's not just the thing that's now the problem. It's sort of symptomatic of a whole disease that we have. And that disease is sort of being off our path, missing our mark, everything being wrong. So it's not just this little thing, it's now the symptom of this whole bigger issue in our life. And that is not true. So you have to change the story, to isolate it to back to just this simple, specific symptom, and to know that this specific symptom is there to teach you something. You are not off your path. Everything is okay. Everything is going to be okay. This is just something to help you explore the contrast between what you want, maybe to teach you something, maybe to help you dig deeper, maybe to help you get strong, maybe helping you to get closer to your inner guidance, your wisdom. But it's not you off your path. You are on your correct path. You're exactly where you're meant to be, experiencing what you're meant to be experiencing. Nothing is going wrong. This symptom, this thing that you are so worried about, that's frustrating you in the moment, is not a sign that a lot of other stuff is going wrong in your life and the whole thing is off course and going crazily out into the yonder with no help or recourse. That is not the case. So realize that part of why you are grappling with this is that you're equating this to this bigger story of doom, and that this story is absolutely not true. That is your fear. That is your fear speaking. So nothing is wrong. You're not off your path. You're just meant to be learning something, experiencing something, going deeper, or maybe even just learning how to do this that I'm telling you how to do now, how to master this process of aligning yourself back into your higher frequency, aligning yourself to the reality that you would like to experience. That's the first one. So that is the C for Scram. So the next one is the R. And the R stands for release. There's a lot of stuff that you have to release. The first thing is you have to sort of release attachment to a specific outcome, because that is also a lot of what's keeping you stuck into this lower vibration, where you have become attached to a specific outcome, specific person, specific thing that needs to happen. So you've almost made your happiness conditional upon something else that needs to happen, and that life doesn't like that. And whenever you do something like that, it almost always shows up to show you this, you shouldn't do this. You have to release that. So you have to be happy despite what is happening, despite the lack of that thing, despite the circumstances, despite this thing that is not ideal. You have to find the happiness within yourself. So the first thing is you have to release the conditions that you've placed upon your happiness. You have to release that attachment to specific outcomes. And then you also have to release the heavy emotion that you're feeling around this. So in some way, you have to just get rid of it, because it's in your body. You feel it as a feeling, so you have to physically get rid of it. And the best way is to just feel into your body. Where are you feeling that tension? Where are you feeling that frustration or anger or hurt, whatever that emotion might be? And just breathe into it. Breathe. And as you start breathing light and love into that place, feel it releasing, feel it let go. It's almost like a muscle that's going into a cramp. And then you sort of just breathing in so that it can relax that fear response. And then the other part of release is to release your cares and worries into hands bigger than your own. So hopefully you have some sort of a connection with a higher realm. I don't care what your belief system is in terms of that. You might call it different things, God, the universe, the Great Spirit, your angels, whatever it is, your higher self. Um, Whatever that is, you have to release the cares and the worries into that bigger, surrender that into the bigger process. And one of my favorite meditations to do is to actually imagine that I'm sitting in front of a pond and that all of this stuff in my mind that's worrying me or stressing me out is almost like these things that's moving underneath the still water of the pond. And I can see this stuff moving in the depths. And then to almost draw that stuff out, to look at it and see what is there, what is it that's so what's buzzing in my mind that's causing the disturbance of the stillness, and then to draw it out and to almost put it like in a bubble, that when you blow these little soap bubbles and see it drifting out into the sky. And my sky is the universe, my sky is God, my sky is that my team that can help me carry that, so that I don't have to carry it within my mind, within my being. I release that. And that is a beautiful meditation to do, and I highly recommend that you do something like that, or even do that. So you're releasing the heavy emotions, you're releasing this anxiety, this frustration, the need to carry this by yourself. You're releasing it into other hands that can help you carry it, because those hands are available for that. And so by releasing it, you're lessening your own very intense experience of it. And also part of the heaviness that you're feeling is the perceived need of you to deal with this, whatever it is, on your own without that support. So you're calling in your support system, you're releasing it to them, and by doing that you're also releasing some of that attachment that you're feeling to specific outcomes, or to having to sort this out yourself. So that's the R for Scram, SCR. So the next one is the A, and that is to move into alignment. And there's two ways to actually move into alignment. And the first one that I love is when I look at my dream life, or the ideal circumstances, or the ideal circumstances, or my dream life. I look at how my day would unfold when, if, while I'm living that life. How would I wake up? What would I eat for breakfast? How would I spend my time? What would my diary look like? And then I align my current day, even though it is shitty and not ideal, and there is this huge gap and thing that's missing here. I find small ways to align my day with that day. And the more you can do this, the more magic will unfold in your life. So for instance, if in my ideal life, I am very prosperous, I'm a writer, and I am spending my day writing a book on Lake Como in Italy, how can I bring some of those actions into my day now? Well, maybe I would be checking on investments. So I can do that even though I don't have the money to invest right now. I can investigate what would be good investments to make. So I schedule that into my day. I would obviously be writing. So did I actually put some writing time in my diary for the day? What else would I be doing? I would obviously go for a walk next to the lake, or sit over and look out over the water. So even though I can't be sitting by Lake Como at the moment, where do I have a body of water that I can go and sit and stare out over and think my thoughts and feel my feelings? So how am I bringing those things into alignment in little ways that I can tangibly make it part of my day? And then the other thing is to find ways in which your life already contains parts of those feelings that you're after. So what you're after in that ideal perceived circumstances or in that dream life of yours is not specific things, it's a essence, it's a feeling state. And you already have some of that in your life today. Even though you're focusing right now on this sucky, shitty thing, you actually already have some of that. It's just that you need to amplify it. So, one of the ways that I find that this pandemic has really helped me get into that, as I said, part of my dream is I love to travel, I love exploring new places, and there's something about being so alive in that moment, really experiencing the newness of that place, the beauty of something, very intensely. Travel awakens that for me, and that's part of why I love and would love to travel and am going to travel. But not being able to do this during this past 18 months has really helped me to be able to access that in other smaller moments of standing and watching Egyptian geese flying across the sky, or watching the ripple of water as I take a walk next to a river. I am finding it easier these days to really intensely go into the awareness, the presence, the joy, the beauty of moments that is in my current life, that is right around me in my current circumstances, even though I am not traveling. And that has allowed me to release this condition that I place on being happy, but only if I can travel. Because I can be happy right here, within my immediate environment, with my life exactly as it is. I've cultivated that thing, and it's like going to a gym. The more you practice it, the stronger that muscle gets. And so for me, that's been one of the gifts. But that is really what you want to go and look and see in your life, where is that feeling already present, even if it's at a small scale, and to really focus on those, to really intensely experience them, to really be grateful for them, to really notice them. And as you do, they will start expanding slowly and become more frequent, and you will be feeling them more deeply within your whole being. And that is part of the alignment that will bring you into alignment with that future self, that ideal future where you're already feeling that most of the time. You're just, the frequency of how you're feeling it right now, the number of times a day that you're feeling it right now is maybe not as as much, and it is also not felt as intensely, but it's already there in your life. I can promise you, if you go look for it, you can find it. And so really focus on those. Make sure that you put some time in your diary, that you really go into those moments so that you can intensely feel the joy, the beauty, the gratitude of those moments. So that's the A for alignment. You want to align your day, you want to align your feelings, you want to align your whole way of being. Then the third one, the M of Scram, is to move. And there's three ways in which I think that we need to really move in order to shift our vibration. And the first one is to use music to move your body while you play a piece of music. And the magic of that is that music unlocks within us something deeper that's not thought-based. It's sort of, it takes you into your feeling state, and it can raise your vibration. So you choose a piece of music that really makes you feel happy and alive and wanting to move your body and wanting to dance, and then just dance to it. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, how long is a piece of music? Just shift your vibration in that way, because it moves the stuck energy within you, within your energetic system, by doing that. The other way that you can move is to spend some time moving in nature. The same thing happens. There's a lot of healing positive vibration stuff that happens out in nature, and moving our bodies while we are walking in nature or spending time there actually helps us get rid of the stuck energy. So nature has some medicine for you. Nature has some wisdom, some awareness to gain, some stillness that will help you to shift your vibe. So go out and spend some time in nature. And then the last thing, the last M, is to move into the now. A big part of why you are so really feeling that sucky thing, or the lack of that thing, is because you are often projecting into the future. You're worried about what will happen, and you're feeling anxious about something that has not yet occurred. Maybe it won't occur, maybe it will, but you're already sort of drawing that future badness into your life right now. And the way beyond that is to really move into the now. In this moment, I am okay. In this moment, I have everything I need. And even though bad things might come in the future, less than ideal things might come in the future, in this moment, I am okay. And in this moment is all that I ever have to deal with. And so stop projecting your consciousness into the future. Bring it back to the now, into great gratitude for what you have now. Presence, enjoyment of what you have now, because this now moment you can mold, you can work with, you can shift, you can dynamically change. And so you would shift all of that stuff, even out of the past, out of feeling guilty or worrying about what you did to bring you to this sucky thing. Maybe you blaming yourself for something that you did that caused you to come to this point. Release that, move out of the past, forgive yourself, and then just deal with, okay, this is where I am now. And if I am here in this now moment, then this is where I'm supposed to be in this now moment. And from here, I can deal with everything around me. I don't have to project my consciousness into the future, even 2 minutes into the future, because life is right here, right now. And I am right here, right now. And whatever is to come, I hand over to my team, to a bigger consciousness than mine. And I trust in the path that I am on. I trust in my own ability to deal with whatever is thrown at me. And so I hope that helps you to use the Scram method, to stop, to change your story about this being just one sign of the general doom of your life, to release your cares, release the heavy feeling, release your attachments. Then to find alignment in your day, to align your feelings and everything to a more preferred circumstances, and then to move your body, move in nature, move into the now. I'm sending you so much love. Please like and subscribe this video if it was of use to you, and look out for even more content in the future as we discuss and elevate our lives together. Sending you lots of love.